Yo, what's up, child of God? I am Y311H. I'll be taking you through today's episode of woke and creepy videos that might make you rethink reality. Hit that like button and help us, my friend, in spreading these videos to the whole world. Good vibes on. As we react to these videos, our intention is pure, full of good vibes, because we intend on uniting all earthlings, ensuring we all live in peace. Everyone is honest with their neighbor, forgiving, and above all, my friend, everyone loves their neighbor the way they love themselves. I welcome you on today's show, my friend, with a big heart filled with love for you. And today, child of God, I'll also share with you something from the book of wisdom, which reminds us of the goodness and greatness of our supreme God, whom we always talk to before we begin our show. And these words from the book of wisdom, my friend, this is what they tell us today. Straight from Psalms, my friend, Psalm 144, verse 3. This is what it says. O Lord, what is man that you care for him? The son of man that you think of him? Man is like a breath. His days are like a fleeting shadow. Interesting. God really cares and loves you, my friend, full of love and good vibes, and is always ready to do great things for you. Let's talk with this wonderful creator before we begin today's show. Dear Lord Father, full of mercies and kindness and love, we give you thanks, Father, for this day. All glory and honor belong unto you, Father. Dear Lord, thank you for this chance to be gathered here together with your adorable child, today's viewer. All glory belongs to you, Father. Dear Lord, as we come before you in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, we pray that you may guide us through these videos, Father. Be merciful to us and forgive us all our sins, dear Lord. And this viewer that has joined us today, impact their lives with your goodness, Father. Touch their two souls, feed them with love, Father, and help them walk in your paths, dear Lord. Help this word that we have read from the book of wisdom grow in us and guide us in our lives. In your holy name, Jesus Christ, we do pray, trusting and believing. Amen. Let's dive in, child.
The buildings turn to dust before they even reach the ground. You can actually see this happening. You can watch any of the videos from the news channels. They all show the same thing.
We thought we knew what we saw.
A plane hitting the building should not turn the buildings into dust.
We've got to start looking at this whole situation a lot differently than we have up until now.
We're talking here about 43,600 windows, 600,000 square feet of glass, 200,000 tons of structural steel, 5 million square feet of gypsum, 6 acres of marble, and 425,000 cubic yards of concrete, turned in good part into a cloud.
The 110-story tower disintegrated in just 10 seconds.
That's not a collapse. And it's not an explosion. It's a building frothing up into powder. Collapses don't do that.
The seismic recordings would have reflected 2 500,000-ton buildings slamming to the ground, but they did not. Didn't happen.
There's a cluster of core columns that remains here. Watch what happens to them. They just faint.
Here's Building 7, which is a 47-story building. It's like 650 feet tall, approximately. This has got to be over that.
It physically disintegrates in front of your eyes. Not concrete, but steel.
You can see all of this is frothing up into dust. And it's also blowing downward.
That's about 700 feet tall. If that thing tipped over, it would take out a few blocks worth of buildings. How's it going to go straight down? You got a 700-foot hole in the ground, drop it into?
Look at this. What's going on here? Why do these guys resemble one another? What's up? What's up? This good vibes guy is taking us through this rabbit hole of some guys called that had name, the Mothers. Look at these guys. The real name of Maria Fredova Empress. Oh, what's her real name? What? Nikolai Romanio. Man, could she be a he? How is this possible? Good vibe source. Are you seeing this? Some guys looks like he has lived for quite some time. He seems like he was alive back then in World War I. How is this possible? Look at these guys. It's like they just change hearts and take on a new human. Look at this guy, the George V family. It's like these guys are immortal or what's up. Compare him with this guy, young Putin. My God, these guys look alike. How is this possible?
Victor Schauberger's work, and he talked about how everything needs to spiral, because that's just like what you mentioned. That's what's naturally going on. The Earth is constantly spiraling, and everything around it is spiraling too. And so I stumbled upon electroculture, studying George Lakhovsky, Victor Schauberger, and Justin Christo Flo. And I was researching all of their work and going, this is remarkable. I can take a copper antenna and I can pop it into my soil and I can have big plants. Like, is this the secret to the big pumpkins that we've seen so many times? I decided, you know what? I'm in Scottsdale at that time. I'm right on the main street. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to try this. So I'm going to take a piece of wood, wrap it with copper, stick it into my moringa planter, and kind of see what happens. And I had 14 to 22 inch moringa pods. The average moringa pod is like 6 inches. So I'm getting 2 to 3 times, and I'm on a balcony. It's with tap water. It's, you know, there's nothing. I did it as generic as possible. And so I started to go into Victor Schauberger's work after this, because I'm like, okay, nobody knows about this. 1940s, I find out Victor Schauberger, what he did was he presented this information to the Bulgarian government at the time. And he said, if you guys use copper tools, you'll yield more food.
Why is no one talking about this? Look at this ecological warfare. Or what's going on? Our surroundings have turned grays and soulless. Look at these places, my friends. Compare them with what people from old age used to do. Look at the difference. Things are getting more and more boring.
So this thing now is going to fall back to earth. They all have to get into their chairs and get in. So they're allowed to move around and play and push off the walls. This thing, what's stopping it from tumbling? But they always have to tell us who their master is, right? Here's her logo. I'll zoom in on it. Baphomet. Upside down. You flip it over. They do it all the time. Everything they do, they have that all the time. So he's the last guy that went up. This is what he's wearing to go up to space. Yeah. And this is what a jet pilot, you know, a fighter pilot has to wear when he's just going, you know, when he's going up for 1,300 miles per hour, 45,000 feet. They're going up 350,000 feet at 2,200 miles per hour, and they're just wearing jumpsuits, right? Nobody's really thinking these things through when they come down, and they're like, yeah, but I saw the curve of the Earth. This is Kobe Cotton is his name, Kobe Cotton CC 33. Yeah. Okay, yeah. And so look, the curve of the Earth, but here's the same camera when he's on the ground. The curve of the ground, it's the same curve. So they're just using a fisheye lens, and people just believe this stuff, right? People are like, you can go see a rocket launch yourself, and yes, sometimes they do launch real rockets, but they're not real rockets. There's never anybody on them ever. This is what I call the Tupac rocket. It's a complete and total hologram. The amount of thrust coming out of here should obliterate everything here, but this smoke is just kind of lollygagging around. That's lifting up, 30 tons of weight, right? But when it went up, we had a little glitch. Watch right here. Watch the top of the rocket. Ready? 3, 2, 1. And come on. Where is it? There it goes. Oh. It disappears. We'll zoom in. Zoom in. Okay. This happens all the time with NASA. So I'm done with space. I mean, the space that we can spend the entire time here for hours going on and on about space, and we really won't get. We won't even.
But let's.
These people have tapped their religion is to have their body become inhabited by demons. All right, that's what it is. I've read it. Okay, this is all documented. They use hidden coded language and symbols, but pearls represent the secret. The secret mysteries, the hidden gems, the secret sauce, the secret teaching of all ages, the secret doctrine, the secret societies. They have a lot of secrets. Well, it's hiding in plain sight if you have eyes to see it. It's right there in front of you. What is that? What are you looking at? What is that? Is that a man or a woman? Come on, it's not that hard. Now, obviously, this person resembles Aleister Crowley, so it probably is some kind of relation there. They're all kind of related somehow, right? At the end of the day, they got some kind of special bloodline that they're preserving. Practice androgyny, which means there's a controlled breeding program. They don't reproduce normally. It's controlled reproduction, new and improved, according to their beliefs. You got sperm and egg and synthetic biology, whatever is going on, they seem to be enjoying it. All first ladies have been androgynous alchemists. All right, it's pretty obvious. Now, a lot of people will say, oh, come on, man, that's just a nasty old woman. It's a nasty old man, all right? Come on, man in a wig, all right? And it's a secret. Don't tell anybody. Let's keep this video between you and me, because it's just too disturbing.
It was so new that I didn't really know a lot about him yet.
Were you a believer?
No, to be honest, this is the truth.
You're married now.
That is
Isn't
my
that the coolest
entire
story
husband.
ever? The third song, yeah. We've been enjoying your music.
Okie dokie. Okie doke. Okie dokie.
Okie dokie.
What do you wish more people knew about you?
My heart.
I wish people just knew my heart.
That 19-year-old body shape anymore.
Not 19 anymore.
And I realized that everybody else seemed to be narrating my life for me.
Yes.
So why don't I put something out that is my side of the story?
I was able to tell my story about who I was from my own mouth instead of people from the outside being able to tell my story for me.
Everything that we're doing is at home. This is my amazing kitchen.
We actually are in my real kitchen, in my real house. This is not a set. This is where I really live.
And Nana and I thought it would be fun to share with you. So Nana, what do we call them?
And my Nana.
This is my Nana room. Okie dokie.
And we're going to go through my life in looks so far.
I am going to be going through all of my biggest fashion fails and kind of outfits.
Do you have the proper makeup, people? Because you have lipstick on your teeth. And this ad is in a store. On an embarrassment level, I would say this is definitely...
She was the first record I ever bought, and she was the first concert I ever went to, Big One Time, and I love her. I love Britney Spears. She was the first concert I ever went to.
He was...
Look at this. Remember when the pandemic got so bad that the doctors and nurses had to do crazy stuff, where they were forcing families to be separated from their loved ones? Look at this. Oh, requiring their patients to get COVID tests that drove up the numbers. You see, every day they were increasing, tripping everyone to get a rapidly produced shot. They still had time to practice and film TikTok dances. How hilarious is this? Never forget the COVID crown world. Do you remember those days, Good Vibe Sauce? How was it?
Now I'd like to show you a demonstration of my Egyptian hoist. I call it my Egyptian hoist, or that's what I refer to it as, because I use the two angles of the Great Pyramid. What I'm doing today is I move my block that way. What I want to do is get it down by that end of the staging area in order to do a little side step. My 24-pound block, I have the buckling set at 4 inches apart. That's 2 inches either side. So by applying about 40 pounds of pressure on my lever here, I can rotate the block 180 degrees, which then moves it.
When a man reaches the edge, after he goes as far as any man can possibly go, how does his son continue?
We now have footage of what the moon looks like when you are beyond the ice wall, which we got from this video from 2012, which shows a guy in Antarctica near the ice wall looking up at what must be a different side of the moon. Now here's the actual video. If you look closely at the moon here, it looks as if it's in the shape of a salamander. And if you've heard anything from my other videos, there's this whole theory that the moon is actually a reflection of all the land on Earth. So what we see is actually sort of a map in the sky. So whatever this salamander-shaped continent is, it must be what the land looks like over here. And maybe it could be a giant salamander even. And I'm not going to explain this all again because I've done that many times in other videos, but basically there's this map from World War II that the Germans had, and it was based off of the moon. It was a reflection of the moon, and they drew all of our continents onto it, as well as secret ones that were far off in the west that were behind an ice barrier.
Lust is normalized in this society, but deep down, you are seeking union with another soul, not with random strangers. This keeps you depleted. Gluttony, the overconsumption of food, alcohol, substances, when really the soul wants to be nourished. But society wants you to overconsume as a business model. Greed, when you are craving more and more material things, when really your soul wants generosity, envy, and jealousy, and wishing ill onto other people who have hurt us is so easy for us to do. But deep within our hearts, we just want to love others. Wrath is the anger that we project onto other people instead of using our voices for justice, for what is right, for the passion within us that we want to express. Sloth, the overusage of sleep, but you might not get enough sleep. You might love to hustle and grind. If Satan can't grab you in sloth, then he will grab you in performance. Deep down, your soul is craving peace. Pride, the overconfidence, the ego that you are constantly right, but deep down, you have self-hatred. All you truly want is self-love. When you identify which of these sins you are heavily committing, you are able to instead apply the opposite of what your soul is actually craving.
Every single thing that you have learned or you have been taught, or I know history, you don't know shit. You only know what they wanted you to know, you dumbass. That's all. You don't know shit. How about you just start from, I don't know shit. I'm a baby at this history stuff because all I'm doing is regurgitating what they wanted me to know. The minute that you stop regurgitating what they wanted you to know, then come and talk to me about history. His story. You can believe his story because it might align with who you think you are. When in reality, who you think you are is sick and twisted and deranged. Who you think you are is wild in nature. Who you think you are is cancer cells. Cancer cells. Because every single thing you touch is a cancer. It stinks. It's filthy. It's disgusting.
A display of demonic worship with world leaders in the audience. They are trying to program us all to accept that this is normal. Look at this. This is the Goddard Tunnel opening ceremony. Do you see these strange faces forming there? What type of dresses are these? Why are these people dressed with? They have horns. My God, could that be Baphomet? This is strange. Oh my God. This is not normal. Good vibe sauce. What type of ritual is this? Every day is quite surprising. New stuff here every day. Look at these guys. They are bowing down to something, to time, or what's up? What?
They've been lying to you. They've been lying to you. These celebrities were old historical figures, and for centuries they've been hiding it from you. Back in the 90s, a man named Donald Marshall started getting attention online after claiming he'd witnessed real human cloning programs connected to elite circles. He described what he called replication centers, secret facilities where clones were created from scratch. These centers, he claimed, operated like advanced farms, growing clones in specialized environments, almost like organic plants, before they were activated and brought to life for use by those in power. But he wasn't the only one making these claims. Phil Schneider, a government contractor who mysteriously died in the mid-90s, claimed the military was using advanced biotechnology to create humanoid replicas. His story was dismissed as just another wild theory, and then he ended up dead, just like his claims. These clones aren't born, they're grown. They may look human, but they're said to lack something essential: a soul, a spirit, and independent thought, controlled by some powerful people. Why is it always celebrities? Why not random people on the street? Comment clone and I'll send you a list of celebrities people say might be clones.
So the earth is not flat and the sun is not local? Thumbs up, pilot. Thumbs up, pilot. Oh! Why they higher than the sun? Why the clouds over the sun? And y'all thought the earth was a ball, and how is the sun millions of miles away if it's right there? They're over it. They're CGI. This is old. Flat earth.
Look at this. Two different worlds we are living in. No way. This is real stuff. My God, this is English lands. English people. Look at this. And now this is the people from Russia. Look at how this place looks cool. Man, this place is beautiful. Good vibe sauce. These are real places that exist. This is one beautiful, extremely beautiful place. What you have just seen of English lands, I never thought was to explore.
Okay, let's deal with it. Yes, I will. Thank you very much. Let's deal with this. See, because look, I know you're a wise man. And so you must understand that I'm a baby in wisdom, but I'm not a fool. And he's saying here today that the Caucasian is in fact the oldest group on the planet. I beg to differ. Look, one of the most famous anthropologists is Professor Leakey. And when Professor Leakey went in search of the origin of human beings and human species, he didn't stop very long in Europe. He went to Africa. And the oldest bones and the oldest human beings to this day that you call Zinzanthropus, using the Latin meaning Zin and Xanthropus, meaning a black man, that oldest man, they say, is millions of years old. You went back and found one even older than that. You called her Lucy, a black woman.
Go ahead.
And every sensible historian, anthropologist today agrees that the black man is the father of human beings. Even your geneticist, Mr. Mendel.
Go ahead.
You have Mendel's law.
Go ahead.
Mendel says that light eyes are recessive. Light skin is recessive. You can take the recessive, the dark skin is dominant, the dark eyes are dominant. You can take the recessive from the dominant, but you can't get the dominant from the recessive. This is Mendel's law. And so all of your scientists have proved that you can't look. Black is not even a color.
That's right.
Teach. Black is the mother and father of all colors.
Teach.
That's why the scripture says, in the beginning was blackness. And if you want a baby, even if the woman is a white woman, the baby has to come out of the triple darkness of her womb. And this is the origin of all life. Within the black, you have the whole color spectrum. But in white, two white people laying down together, they can only produce white. But two black people in darkest Africa can lay down together and produce albino with blonde hair and blue eyes.
That's right. Teach, Muhammad.
This happens all the time. And so we need to really get these facts correct today and understand that as gray as your hair is, you are listening to your father today.
Teach, Muhammad.
This is daddy talking.
Teach.
And we mustn't turn. God, this is true.
Interesting stuff. Let's keep on watching. This is now about the people that allegedly went to space. You see? In some capsule. Let's see. This good vibes guys is googling or showing us some information he thinks is quite useful. Katy Perry hung up on the performance. Let's see what are those things she's wearing? What is happening to her eyes? This is crazy stuff. Katy Perry sold her soul. Hey? And allegedly, she once said she sold her soul to the devil. Wow. Didn't know things could go this way. Katy Perry fled to space. Let's see. She went to space and allegedly she sold her soul. What was going on? Look at the logo. This is what we have just seen, my friends. Allegedly, if you put the logo upside down in the suits they were wearing, it resembles Baphomet. This is crazy stuff. Do you think this is coincidence things?